On a stormy night in Gotham, the city was engulfed in a deep darkness, with fierce winds sweeping through its twisted alleys. On top of one of the tall buildings, Batman stood silently, as usual, watching over the city. But something was different that night. A hidden tension filled the air. Batman had received reports about a new criminal leading the gangs in the city in an unusual way, a villain who knew his every move and plan with unsettling precision. This villain was called Red Hood. Years ago, Jason Todd was just a street kid wandering through the streets of Gotham, stealing and trying to survive by any means. One day, he attempted to steal the tires from a car in a dark alley, only to discover it was Batman's Batmobile. Instead of arresting him, Batman saw something in Jason that reminded him of himself as a lost young man. Batman decided to take Jason under his wing, training him and giving him a purpose in life. Jason's training was intense and swift, and he became the new Robin, Batman's brave sidekick. But Jason was impulsive, and he didn't always follow instructions, constantly seeking to impose his strength in dangerous ways. This recklessness made him vulnerable. During a mission to rescue a hostage from the hands of Joker, Jason fell into a carefully laid trap. He was captured in an old warehouse, where he endured brutal torture at the hands of the Joker. The torture didn't stop with physical beatings. The Joker strapped Jason to a deadly explosive device. Batman raced to save him, but by the time he arrived, the warehouse exploded before his eyes. Batman felt powerless and defeated. There was no body, only rubble and ashes. Jason Todd was presumed dead. What Batman didn't know was that Jason hadn't died in the explosion. He was secretly rescued by a mysterious group, but the near-death experience had changed him forever. He was mentally and physically reprogrammed to become a new person, far from the Robin that Batman once knew. Jason returned to Gotham years later, not as an ally, but as Red Hood, a dark leader seeking revenge on Batman. Red Hood wasn't an ordinary villain. He had intimate knowledge of Batman's secrets, and used this knowledge to lead Gotham's gangs with intelligence and violent precision. Every time Batman tried to confront him, Red Hood was always one step ahead. One day, Batman received a cryptic message leading him to a specific location outside the city. When he arrived, he found an abandoned, decaying place, filled with the echoes of the past. In the center of this desolate area stood Red Hood, without his mask, waiting for Batman with a face full of sorrow and anger. It was the long-awaited confrontation between past and present. A fierce battle broke out between them, with Red Hood showing that he still retained some of Robin's skills, but he had become far more dangerous and cunning. Despite his strength, Batman felt immense guilt toward Jason. Every punch carried mixed emotions: anger, sadness, and regret. As the fight escalated, Red Hood revealed the true depth of his pain. He believed that Batman had abandoned him, failed to save him, and never avenged his death at the hands of the Joker. Batman, in turn, felt helpless. His decision not to kill the Joker in the name of justice had come back to haunt him. In a brief moment of calm amidst the chaos, Red Hood threw his mask to the ground, revealing his scarred face, both physically and emotionally. Batman realized in that moment that no matter what he did, he couldn't fix everything, but perhaps he could try to ease the pain. After a moment of reflection, Batman offered Jason a chance to work together again, to try and rebuild the broken trust between them. But Jason wasn't ready to let go of his anger. He quietly left the scene, telling Batman that he would return one day, but not as a friend, as an enemy. As Batman stood alone in the darkness, he knew this confrontation was not the end. Jason Todd was still somewhere within Red Hood, but now he was a different person. Batman understood that their battle was far from over, and that the coming days would be even tougher. But as always, he stood ready to face whatever came, even if it meant confronting the shadows of his past.